Okay. Okay, so we're recording now. So we'll call the meeting to order at 6:42 p.m. on Monday, July 17. And our first order of business will be to make any changes to the agenda. Are there any changes that need to be made?
I haven't.
No? No? Okay. All right, our second job then is to review and approve the minutes of our July 3rd meeting.
I would like to motion to amend the minutes from the July 3rd meeting to include the Zoom recording. I failed to put the link in there, so I will get that in there.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as amended for the July 3rd meeting.
I'll second.
Okay.
We can
All
call
in
it-
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll abstain. Yes,
Okay, very good. All right, so any public works updates?
So we've got the excavator we rented and we're working up on the Gibu Road right now, doing some ditching, and then I don't think there's any culverts on Gibu Road, but we're doing ditching up on Deer Run, trying to improve the situation up there. They cleaned up a bunch of the trees in the ditches and cut some trees back up on the Gibu Road. Then after we get down on Gibu Road, we go to Reagan Road. There's a couple culverts on Reagan Road to change, and then some ditching on Reagan Road. And then we'll see where we'll go from there after we get that in. But it seems to be going good so far.
Do
Yeah.
you have any plans with ditching to do that stretch on Hill West where my mom's where it flooded over on my mom's property?
Yeah, I'm not sure we're gonna make it back to the village. We'll see. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it did flood there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Dave and Shane had to like dig out that culvert because it was
Oh, okay. That.
overflowing, and that whole like section from
Oh, okay.
pretty much the whole length from driveway to driveway on the uphill side is just so shallow. It
Yeah. Yeah.
doesn't drain.
Say Hill West or West Hill?
The west.
On Hill West. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll talk to him and see if we can get over there.
Okay.
Yeah, Tom.
Cool.
Yeah. Then I met with, on Longley Bridge project with the contractors. We had an on-site meeting. Well, we had a Zoom meeting, and then we decided we needed to get on-site because there was a bunch of questions that needed to be answered. So the plan is to move, they're moving in the week of August 20th, then they start the 24th, and they're supposed to have the project completed by the end of October. And then the plantings are supposed to be done then too. So that's the timeline for the project. They wanted to extend it a little bit more because of more washouts, and I told them just go where we have already. I didn't want to tell them that we don't want to expand anymore. Just do what they had planned, and then that's, you know, that's gotta be enough. Yeah. So everybody seems to be on the same page now, and so that project seems to be hopefully going to happen. So
Joe kicking.
yeah.
Joe kicking.
Yeah, I think that Shane is full-time now. Came on full-time July 1st.
Starting 92.
Full crew, so that's nice.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So things are good there. Taking a little bit of pressure off me.
Yeah.
They're all doing a good job, so I don't hear much. So that's good.
Okay.
And we got spared we got a few little washouts here and
Yeah.
there, but nothing major out of these last few storms, so that was really good.
Yeah.
We lucked out.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. So I guess that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, zooming through the agenda, there is no old business to discuss unless any of you have anything.
No.
Okay. All right, so moving down to new business, are you guys okay if we skip over A for now since Linda is here?
Or
You wanna go to
If we go back
item
to
B,
it, if
because
we can go to item B,
Oh, okay, yeah.
if we're okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so, dog officer capacity needs, Linda, good
Okay,
evening.
well, the reason I'm here is because, well, there's a few things. As the dog officer, I really can't enforce the ordinance the way it's written. The first thing is, I did a census last year, and I found, I would give a notice first on the door saying, your dog isn't licensed, please, and give all the information on how to do it either online, by phone, or over the mail, through the mail.
Mhm.
And then if no one, then it says if no one responds within 10 days, then I give a warning. So I called it a second notice, it was a warning, and it said, if you don't license your dog in it's 10 days, then you will be fined. Okay, and then after, so about 21 days go by from the initial time I left the notice until I wrote a fine. Sometimes it was a little longer, I wasn't right on the date, you know? And often, and I went to talk to a lot of people still didn't license, you know? And maybe this year they did, but some of them did. And so I talked to the clerks and they were like, well, some people paid it, but some people didn't want to pay it. So what are we gonna do? They're here to license their dog, so I feel like we should license their dog. And if they refuse to pay it, so they have. You know, I don't know exactly how many, but I do have a list of who did pay the fines. So, and the fines were from last year's licensing. And these people licensed this year and had to pay the fine, because if you have a fine, you gotta pay it, period. So anyway, so my thought is, it's not really fair that some people don't have to pay the fines and some people do. And even if they don't, I have no recourse, because I have no place to impound dogs. And that's what the next thing in the ordinance says. And the last 3 weeks, I've had 2 dogs dropped at my house with no information. I don't know who they dropped. One of them, I found the owner on Facebook, okay? Because that's when we find a dog, that's what everybody does, puts it on Facebook, and it's pretty handy, actually. The other one ended up, you know, it wasn't really found in Montgomery because someone else saw it up on the Notch Road on the other side, and it was a really chunky dog, so I don't think it traveled too far. So I actually transported it to Lowell Animal Control Officer, and she was very good. You know, I told her where I found it, and she was like, okay. So, you know, it takes my time and my energy, and, you know, that's not the problem. The problem is I don't have a place at my house. I have 3 dogs of my own. One of them is aggressive to other dogs, so I can't bring dogs into my house. If I do, I have to put this dog away, you know, and he starts marking around my house. And you know, so my thought is, so first of all, I'm saying that I'm starting my census here. I've done a couple of people, but at this point, I'm just gonna give a notice that says your dog isn't licensed, this is how you do it. I'm not gonna give them a warning and fine them because I can't really follow up. And it sort of makes me look like I'm not gonna do my job, so why should they, you know, license anyway? And then also I was thinking, I talked to the Franklin County Humane Society, they're not ready to do that yet. I talked to Keith, he doesn't have kennels anymore at his house, and he's not interested in kenneling the dogs. So I wasn't, you know, I was thinking maybe the select board could build something, you know, at my house. I do have a fenced-in yard. I'm not sure that you're gonna do that, but I have a fenced-in yard, but it has a doggy door coming into my house, and there's no shade there, so I couldn't keep a dog out there all the time. It's mostly for my dogs. So, you know, I guess the main thing is I just wanted to say that I'll do the best I can with the census, but I'm not gonna go any further and start finding people. I mean, unless that's something you want me to do, but it seems hard to, you know, follow through with that when, you know, people aren't really doing it. I guess that's it.
Linda, do you know a young couple out by Beaver Meadows who just opened or has some sort of like dog, or dog care service
You
or
mean that
like.
trailer on the right? Right
Yeah,
after Beaver Meadows?
yeah.
Oh,
I feel like they do.
They have some shepherds, young
They do have some
shepherds there?
shepherds there, and I feel like they're offering like dog sitting services. And I wonder if they might be a resource for if a dog gets dropped off or needs to be impounded or whatever. Maybe they would be interested in.
Well, it could be,
Doing.
but people don't like to bring dogs into their house that might not be vaccinated,
Yeah.
could be sick, you know? I mean, if they're boarding dogs, then they're requiring that the dogs be vaccinated.
I don't think it's I don't know that they're like licensed for boarding together.
Right.
I think it's more just like small scale. But I just mean they might have like a spot in their yard with like a kennel, maybe. I don't know.
Well, you know, we could ask them, but, you know, they're not in Montgomery either, are they?
Is that technically?
No, they're not in Montgomery.
Mm.
But, you know, which is fine, but, you know, like I said, that's another reason why I'm not crazy about bringing dogs into my place that
Yeah.
that aren't vaccinated, that don't know them. They could be aggressive to my grandchildren or to me, you know, so I'm just updating you on the job, so to speak, because it's really getting frustrating for me, especially when I came home twice and here's dogs. One of them was in a crate in my back porch, on my back lean-to. So it was in the shade, and the other one was just dropped off. And I have a lead outside where I tie my little dog sometimes. It was tied up there. So they didn't put any water out for them. And also, I'm gonna be gone for 2 weeks at the end of the month. And what if they drop them off? And my husband, he's not gonna deal with them. You know, he's not gonna dump them or nothing, but he'll be calling you guys.
Yeah.
Because Brent's out of town too right now.
okay.
So, you know, and even Brent doesn't have a place to keep them.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't need a decision today. I think you guys, I don't know. I mean,
So you kind of need like
I need
just a
something.
little shelter, like separate from, like another yard separate from yours.
Yes,
Like a little shelter.
place that has
or
shade, and
something.
maybe, doesn't have to be a big fenced-in area, but, you know,
Just
also,
as separate from yours so that,
yeah, and
Yeah.
also, if I get a dog, like the dog that went to Lowell was never claimed. So I believe it was dropped off because of where it was found, where the person said she saw it, and that's, you know, someone probably picked it up driving over the road or something,
Yeah.
trying to save it, and then saved it to me. So, you know, people do that. They come over and say, oh, I rescued this dog. Here, you take it. I'm like, okay. So anyway,
Yeah.
I think that dog was dropped off. So if I had him at my house, and I held him for, I think it's 5 days in the ordinance, after that, I would adopt him out, but I would pay the price to vet him, because I'm not gonna adopt out a dog that is not vetted. You know, it's not fair. Plus, you know, in 5 days, I might not know, you know, what if I adopted somebody and it bit somebody, you know,
Yeah.
then the town could be liable, you know. So anyway, that's just my input at the time being. And if you have any, I mean, I hear what you're saying, and maybe we could ask them, but is that something that you would wanna do?
I don't know.
You know,
No,
you
it's
could board,
I think we'd better try to set something up at your place. I mean, then it's right there.
I
You
mean,
know, then, it's, you know, make a separate area, you know, at your place or something.
that would be fine, you know.
It's too
and
bad the Humane
if I-
Society used to take them, and so that made it handy for us. You could bring them right
Yeah.
down there and
I
take
mean,
them.
'cause
And
when I was dog officer years ago, I would drive the dog to, you know, St. Albans,
So-
leave it there, and then they would
Yeah.
have, the person would have to pay a fee to pick up their dog, and they would have to prove that they got it licensed, so, you know, before they picked it up, but that doesn't happen there. The Humane Society is really not able to take dogs right now. I
Right.
think they only take them if they have a foster home for them.
what about the one in Morrisville? Is it the North American League?
Or
or-
they wouldn't take them.
No.
They are very particular.
Oh,
and
okay, I thought they were.
Yeah, I mean, I did ask them at one point, and they said, only dogs that, you know, they have a place for that, but it's not worth it, because they have so many animals to deal with, you know.
Oh, okay.
But, I mean, I can ask them again, but, you know, I mean, North Country Animal League is very particular.
Yeah,
Particular of who they adopt their dogs to, you know, so. I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
But anyway,
So Linda, I just want to make sure that I've captured all of this. It sounds like there's a few things that you need going forward. Like the first is that we really need to think about a place if there are dogs that need to be impounded or dogs that are just sort of dumped to you, that you can impound them. And it sounds to me, and you didn't say this, but I wonder, like, obviously that needs to be a fairly secure area as well, right? Because like if you're holding somebody's dog,
I've had people come.
you don't
and
want them
ask
at your
and
house.
take their dogs.
Right.
I had kennels at my other house. They took their
Okay.
dogs in the middle of the night. It only happened twice, but still, you know, some people are like that. And then right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people who I gave notice to, warnings, fines, and they still have not licensed their dogs as of this year, you know, so now I have to go back to them. But are they gonna pay the fine? Probably not. They're probably not gonna even license their dogs because the fine's only 15. So if your dog is not spayed or neutered, it would be like $28 including the fine for each dog. Some people might have, some of them do have 2, 3 dogs, so, you know, it's almost a hundo, you know, $90, so, and people, I don't know, I'm not making excuses for it.
No.
Because it
And it also sounds like you're saying that we may need to further review the ordinance with regard to the 5-day holding period. And I think I heard you correctly saying that you pay for the dogs to be vetted?
I do.
So
But I also have a rescue that so I do get some donations, but it's not, I mean, right now I have like $200 in there. So I do have money to do that, but some dogs might cost more than that. So I have in the past paid it out of, not since I've been dog officer this time, but in the past, I would pay for that. Or else I would do a fundraiser and get money,
Okay.
you know.
I mean, it sounds like
So
if
I
that's
don't
part of
expect-
the job, then we need to have some sort of capacity to like cover that cost so that that's not coming out of your pocket. And then when that dog is adopted out, maybe that
There
becomes
is a fee, correct.
that's the fee. So
And
whatever
usually-
that vetting cost is. And so maybe we need to figure out how to
Usually
review
if I-
that ordinance
If
and
I
write that
adopted a
in there.
dog and didn't give a price and asked for a donation, most people were more generous than I probably would have charged them for the dog, you know? So, because I'm pretty picky too, but, yeah, I mean, I understand, it does say in the ordinance that if the dog's not claimed, it can be adopted out, but it doesn't say anything about more than that, you know? And you don't want to adopt out dogs that you're not sure of, you know? Especially as the animal control officer, because the town can be liable, not me,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
so.
Mm.
So I try not to get, I think I'm very good at dealing with people. I don't
Yeah.
get them upset or anything, but, and some people, I came to their door and they were mad and they wanted to kick me out. There was only one person who was very rude to me and brought his gun out. But some people are angry, and once I talk to them, they're like,
So,
okay, because I'm like, hey, you know, I'm not trying to arrest you or nothing. I explain to them if dogs have tags on them and I find them, I will bring them home and I won't charge anybody anything. You know, it's just,
so are you having Brent go with you on some of
well,
these? Maybe you should be.
no, I
if that's
didn't.
happening.
He went to some other ones. This one I didn't realize that I needed to bring Brent, but you know,
Yeah.
he brought his gun out, but I was very respectful of the gun and left. you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Wow.
And actually, this person did not license their dog. And I sent them another notice, you know, afterwards. And they came into the town and, you know, said stuff about me. And I was like, I don't care what they say, you know.
Jeez.
But they didn't license their dog. And then it turns out it passed away like a month later.
Oh,
So, you know, but anyway, it's kind of scary going
Yeah.
to some houses.
Well,
Most people I know, but
yeah,
actually I knew this guy too.
but there is a lot of new people.
People don't like you going on their properties, you know. There's also a gentleman who has a dog, and he has, he works for the feds, and it's supposedly his police dog. Well, he came in to license it and said, well, I shouldn't have to pay for that because this is
Worked out, yeah.
a dog that works for the feds. And so, I mean, they didn't charge him. And my thought was, hey, what's the big deal? Pay to license.
Yes.
I mean, you still have to pay
Yeah.
and prove that you have rabies, which he did, but, you know, he sort of ran the show. And I don't expect the girls to be enforcement officers
No.
either, you know?
No.
They're just doing their job, so.
Mm.
Just a little stuff that I'll fill in, I guess.
Yes.
Would you be, so you would be willing though if we were able to put up some sort of kennel or holding spot at your house? You'd be comfortable with that?
Sure, it'd be in a different spot, you know, I mean, it'd be so my dogs aren't
Yeah, that's
affected,
good.
you know?
Yeah, totally.
And it'd be, so if the dog stayed several days, of course I would walk it and take care of it, but it wouldn't,
Be separate
it
from your.
wouldn't be running loose, because if it ran loose, it could take off again and then end up in another part of town. And, you know, maybe at some point, and I gotta say, Facebook is really good about reuniting pets with their
Mhm.
owners. If I put it on Facebook, usually 8 out of 10 times, the owner comes forward, you know?
Mm.
And at that point, so I actually, you know, some of them don't have tags, some of them aren't, usually they're not licensed anyway. So I can actually find them, but I'm like, hey, if you just go in and license your dog in the next 5
Mhm.
days, I won't find you, just
Mhm.
because, you know, they're late anyways.
Yeah.
So,
So Linda, maybe the next step, if you are willing to do that, would be to, like, if you're willing to do a little bit of research and come up with something, like, what the setup is that you might be looking for. I assume that it would be purchasing some fencing and stuff like that. I mean, I know there's some, like, prefab things out there, and maybe getting that information to us so that we can take a look at it and make some decisions to move forward
that'd be
in
great. I
supporting
just
you
brought
so
it
that
to
you have
thinking
you
one
have
day
what
we
you
would do
need
that,
to
you
do the
know?
job.
Yeah, so I don't know what the cost would be, and like I said, it doesn't have to be a big area. I mean, it probably could be, you know, like from that table, maybe to the other end of the door, like that big, because you have an indoor space and a place for the dog to move around, just like you've seen them at people's houses.
Yeah.
You know, or maybe it's just a fence, and there can be a dog house in it.
Right.
Because there, you know, at that point, you know, it's, as long as the dog is contained. And you probably need at least, and also digging out too, I've had
Mhm.
that happen too.
Yeah.
So I'd wanna put a fence in that was in the ground.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, and you could do that with, like a
Mhm.
chain link fence or something like that. I have hog wire on my fence now, so even a horse couldn't get out of there.
Mhm.
But,
Yeah.
that's pretty expensive too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and the doghouse, as long as they can get out of the elements, you know, in the winter or the summer. Now, if it's 20 below, I'm not gonna leave a dog out in the doghouse.
Right.
I would probably put it in a kennel in my garage or something,
Mhm.
and, you know.
Would those electric fences work?
Well, they do, but you have to train your animals to
Yeah.
those fences.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't really just let the dog out and let it run around and get zapped. You have to like walk the dog on the
Mhm.
leash, and
Yeah.
whenever it goes over, you give it a command, so it takes a while to train a dog for that. You know, maybe some dogs are faster than others, but yeah, I don't even use it on my own dogs, because I don't like to zap them,
Yeah.
you know? And they stay home pretty good, so.
Is there such a thing as a more or less portable kennel type?
Yeah, well, yeah, there is
Mm.
portable kennels, but they're, you know, I want something that's enclosed
Neat
and
and secure.
keep the elements out. So I'd want more like a dog house or something.
I've got those little cat huts. you
Oh,
know.
that would probably work,
True.
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just put, you
Yeah,
know, wire
because they
around
can
the
get
front of it.
inside there, put hay in there or
Yeah.
something, and
Yeah.
Calf condo? Yeah.
Cat hut, yeah, it's a little,
and
yeah.
that's also,
Yeah.
you know, if some reason I leave the planet or something, then it could be removed
Yeah.
and used for someone else.
Yeah, it could be easily staked down and then, yeah, you could move it around if you need to.
That's a good idea, Mark, because
Yeah,
you have those, and you don't have
Yeah.
to buy anything or,
yeah, I've got a
you know,
couple
build
extra ones.
anything.
Yeah, Yeah.
With the calf condo and a solid stake in the ground on a leash so many feet long would work rather than have to have a fencing?
well, depends on the dog.
Well,
Yeah.
Depends
I
on the
mean-
dog.
You can
No.
get those those pig panels too.
Yeah, and you'd
The
wanna
log
have
panels, which
something
aren't
that
too
was
expensive.
pretty stable,
Well, yeah, you put a
lead.
stake in the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my dogs could pull that right out,
No.
you know?
I think
so-
we could figure something out.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the fence
Really
is
easy.
much more comfortable for the dog and, you know, convenient for me. You know, I don't want a dog, if a dog's tied up, he's
Yeah,
gonna
you have-
pace, you know, he could chew through the lead, you know, all different kinds of things.
You have different sized dogs too. so-
Yeah.
Right, both these dogs, one of them was, they were both over 50 pounds.
Yeah.
Well, one of them was probably 85 pounds, he was so fat. But I don't think he could have gone very far at all. He was just like, I mean, he waddled. He was a border collie, beautiful
Oh.
dog.
That's very large
Yeah.
for a border collie. I think maybe do a little bit of research and figure out what you would want for fencing.
Yeah.
And get back to us with that, and then I think that we should go from there. Once we have an idea of what it's going to cost, because I don't think we can continue to ask you to do the job and not support you with the
Well,
infrastructure that you need.
I don't want to do the job if I can't get
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Yes, there we go.
exactly, and that's
I'll
not
do
fair.
the, you know, certain things, like, if I have a complaint, I don't mind that, you know, but I just, and people, this is the first time people have actually dropped dogs off at my house. Most people would call me. I saw today there was a German Shepherd, a young German Shepherd that someone picked up, and it was injured. I don't know what happened to
It
it.
found its way home.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Because I figured whose it was, but, yeah, Facebook probably
But-
did that.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're gone a couple of weeks, if something happens, just have John get hold of you or have, you know.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, I was wondering if something
We
does
just-
happen, who John should call.
Yeah, you can call me and,
Okay,
Figure it
Marty.
yes.
All right, so I guess
Big
that's
neighbor,
it
too.
then.
Okay.
Thank you
Yeah.
for listening.
Thank you, Linda.
Yes, no, thank you, Linda.
Thank
for
you,
all your
Linda.
work. Yes.
And also, you know, these people that haven't licensed, if they come into license, should the girls just do it?
Yeah. Just get them licensed and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, that's what they're saying, listen, we don't wanna argue with people.
No.
We
Yeah.
wanna license
I
their
know.
dog, we're just gonna do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah,
Great.
that's our main goal, is to get
Yeah.
a license, so.
That's
Right.
right, yeah. So,
Right.
If they're willing to come in and do it, let's just let them do it, you know?
yeah, last year, when I did the census, I found 96 dogs that weren't licensed. And I can
Wow.
tell you right now, there's way more than that aren't licensed, or not more than 96, but there's more new people in town. A lot of people don't realize that
Yeah.
it's something you do every year, or that they even have to
Should-
do it.
Should we
you know.
put something like on the
Hmm.
website or something, like explaining what they need to do, or?
Well, there is
Maybe-
something on the
yeah.
website.
Well, there
There's
is.
a tab to click for that.
Yeah,
Yep.
Liz is very good about that.
Oh, okay.
All righty, well, have a good evening, everybody.
Thanks,
Okay.
Thanks, Linda.
All right, you're welcome.
Have a nice
Well,
couple of
take care.
weeks.
Yes, yeah.
When I had that job, I went out one Sunday morning, there was a dead St. Bernard somebody dumped off my
Oh.
porch steps Saturday night.
Is that right? Wow, that's sad.
Oh,
Huh.
That is sad.
Huh?
Yeah.
that's sad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Okay. All right, well,
Move to visitors, I
I know, sad.
think. Yeah.
Okay, we're at 7, I have 7:11. That says 7:07. And it's time for visitors. Merle, good
Yeah,
evening.
a couple things. If you look on the website, under the municipal directory, they still have delinquent tax collector. That
Mm.
should be corrected to collector of delinquent taxes.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
And under the DRB, the alternate members aren't listed for some reason. It's just the 5 members of the DRB. The alternates aren't listed. They
Oh,
always were. I don't know, somehow they got
good,
taken off.
yeah, they should be there.
Yeah.
If there are things with the website, Merle, you can directly email Liz if there are things that like little changes like that that just need to be made. She's handling that now, and so that could just be an email to her. And if she has any questions about changing things, she'll let us know.
Well, I didn't know, I just, these,
Well, yeah, no, it just
these
changed.
things here, I thought I'd bring to your attention.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But just to save you a step, or like to be more efficient, you can just bring it to her attention and she can change the little things, just so you're aware.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I had a couple meetings ago when I it was just Charlie and Emily and you were at the meeting, and I wondered about when those banners, you know, wore out, if you replace them with the flag. And in the minutes, your response was that the board decided to not make a commitment because you didn't know when the banners would wear out. So that's a little puzzling. I guess I raised the question, how does when the banners wear out make a difference whether you would replace them with a flag or not?
I think the idea was that we didn't want to make an executive motion to commit to having the banners, the American flags, to be replaced with banners, because if it's 5 years, 10 years from now, like, none of us might even be sitting on the board, and so to have an ordinance that enforce that, or not an ordinance, but to have a motion in a minutes from 10 years before that enforced that, everybody just sort of felt that it should be on the board who's sitting in that present moment to decide if the
Yeah, that's
ban.
okay, that's fine, but I didn't expect any emotion. I was wondering what you felt, not what somebody else feels like 5 years from now.
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you personally, I feel that I respect the American flag and I like seeing it on our streets, but I also have a pride in Montgomery and I like to see that represented as well. And I respect that the veterans fought and can be represented by their flag, and that their fighting allowed us to be able to hang the town of Montgomery flag. You know, I think that that's both
Those
true.
banners, you know, they don't really mean anything to us. I just wonder, I guess, if a motion was made and seconded to replace those banners with flag, would you vote yes or no?
I mean, me personally, I would probably vote no, because I think that having both of them allows, you know, everybody to sort of feel represented and proud.
So you don't answer the question?
Well, I did. I would vote probably no, because I like to see the banners that are Town of Montgomery. They mean something to me. My father's a veteran. Like, it's not anything to disrespect the military or the country. I think that, you know, Town of Montgomery is in the United States, and we should, you know, being able to fly a banner that says that is also, you know, patriotic in a sense.
What about the rest of you, Emily?
I would leave it to the board that's sitting at the time to determine what needs to happen, what the course of action should be.
No, I'm saying if now a motion was made and seconded to replace those banners with a flag, would you vote yes or no?
So I don't think it's like here or there. That's like not what we're doing right now. So I would leave it to the board that's sitting at the
So you
time,
won't
and
answer?
now's not the time.
So you won't answer the question?
I think when we decided to do the banners and the flags, I mean, we thought it would just be, we were doing both. You know, we just thought, welcome to Montgomery, you know, and then still keep the flags. But, you know, we didn't want to disrespect anything with the flags. It's just the banners are built pretty well, so they're gonna probably last for a while.
Yeah, I understand that, Mark.
yeah.
It's just that I would like to see like they used to be. There should be, you know, flags down that street, all flags. To replace our flag with a black banner, to some of us, if that flag means so much, it hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts.
No, we understand
And
that.
it hurts when people won't even stand up and put our flag on those poles in place of that black banner. I'll tell you, I got something for you anyway. I told you I had this stuff, and I've had a long time, never got it to you. This is the federal etiquette for the flag
Oh, okay.
that I had printed out for all of you.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I thought I had, did I give you the other part, Mark?
Yeah.
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 That's something very interesting printed from the Legion, in American Legion magazine.
I mean, I don't think our intention of putting banners up was to disrespect the flag, Merle. We had no intention of doing that.
Oh, I know you didn't have any
You know,
intention, Mark, I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But it's just when they wear out, when these banners do wear out,
Yeah, we probably will. Maybe.
it'll just
Thank you.
hope. Somebody must have two, because I have one too,
yeah.
Emily.
Thank you.
And this supposed to have one for Charlie.
For Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get it in his
I
mailbox.
think you'll find it interesting reading the flag etiquette there from the federal, that's the federal guidelines. And there's a little bit in there about the Star Spangled Banner also, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you'd be surprised how much respect there is for that flag and how it's disposed of. Do you know how to dispose of the American flag when they wear out, when they're ragged?
They're supposed to be,
Probably don't.
they're supposed to be burnt?
Burnt.
Yes, yes,
And
Yeah.
the ash is buried.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I knew
that's
that.
how much respect that we
Yeah, I knew
have for
that.
that flag.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, okay, Mark,
okay, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
I know you're gonna get to Lister, so when you set this resignation, what do you got, one Lister left?
Yeah, but weren't we revamping the Lister?
How many you got now? I thought it was just two.
I think
Yeah, I
there's
think-
three
Three.
Oh,
There's
you do have
there's-
three? You
there's
appointed
three.
another one? Oh, that's
Yeah.
right, you did appoint another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So you still have two?
Yeah, we still have two. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, too bad.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thanks,
Okay.
Mark.
So, back to 6A, the Eberl and Snedeker DRB appeal.
Mhm.
Okay, so they are appealing to,
Thanks,
Yeah,
Merle.
thank you, Mark.
thank you, environmental court, I believe.
Yes,
Yep,
correct.
okay,
We're
and,
appealing the DRB's decision.
right. Did we want to discuss anything in executive session this evening?
I think Charlie was handling,
I think, you know, he did mention in
Oh,
one of
he did.
his emails that he would like to be the contact person,
yes,
between
so we could do
them,
that.
whatever the courts, and so he would like to do that.
So we could make a motion to make Charlie the contact person for
Sure.
this case. So I'll make that motion. Charlie will be the contact person for the Early and Snedeker
Mm-hmm.
DRB appeal.
Mm-hmm.
That's my motion.
Okay,
I'll second that motion.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, next up, parts.
Did he have anything more on it, or you don't think?
I didn't see anything more that
No, I
he
didn't.
had.
No, I think that's all he wanted.
Yeah,
was
he
to-
just wanted to be, made that person.
Okay,
He said he would like to do that. so,
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Just
too
one more
bad,
thing, just one more thing.
it's too bad it had to come to
Yeah.
this, but, yeah.
Okay, let's see. What is this? What is this? What is, okay, well, part C, town office staff contract renewals, and it's saying signature on those. I'm not seeing them here unless they're in here.
Are they under your folder?
No, those are
No,
the
this is
flag.
the,
Oh,
information from
that
Merle.
important information, yes.
No, blah, blah, blah.
Oops, yep.
I think that this is all the usual stuff in here, unless it's at the very bottom. It doesn't look like any contract, anything in there. Okay, what's up with that?
I guess we'll just have to move it to the next meeting.
I guess so.
Table this.
Table it to the next meeting if we don't have a contract.
Okay. This is from Mercy's Heating, so it has nothing to do with that. All right, so we'll table that. Let's see, so the Lister resignation from Genevieve Lodel-Guild, so, we have to accept her resignation. Do we have to make a motion?
I'll make a
Yeah.
motion to accept Genevieve's resignation as a lister.
Okay,
I'll second that,
I'll second that.
with regret.
I know, I know. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and, so we have no liquor or tobacco licenses this evening. We have no fleet permits this evening. So I'm going to say that,
I think that thing in your envelope for Mercy's
mhm.
is John Mercy is a quote, I believe it's a quote for the new furnace in here.
Oh,
So you might want to look at it
Okay.
and see what it is.
Did we ever respond, didn't we get an email of somebody interested in being a lister?
I think
Recently.
when we did our budget, we were looking at doing something different with listers positions. Charlie knows more about it. So I
Okay,
think we'll probably be
Moving more
discussing
to
it.
an assessor.
Assessor
Right, and,
position.
yeah.
And I think that's why Genevieve resigned, because of that.
okay,
And I think she's still gonna assist.
alright,
So I
cause right
think this
now,
is part of that whole, I think we're gonna get an assessor or something.
Oh,
I think that's.
that's right, we were
that's
gonna
what we-
contract out a
Mhm.
That's what we
municipal
budgeted
assessor.
for in the budget.
That's right,
And
okay,
I think Charlie knows more about it, so it'll probably be
Yeah.
on our next agenda,
okay,
so.
yeah, at the moment,
Um,
that just leaves Jamie, we don't have two, we just have one left.
Yeah, but I believe that's the reasoning for that.
Okay,
okay.
Yeah.
gotcha,
All right, well, this is in fact, John's estimate, which comes to a total of $14,621. It includes the removal and disposal of the old equipment, but he cannot guarantee material pricing for more than 2 days beyond the above date, and he has dated it for 6/22/23.
Oh, okay.
So that's like a month ago. The estimate does not include pumping out and removing a fuel oil tank. We're responsible for piping from the propane tank to the building. It does include new circulators and zone valves to correct heating issues, and
So this is
you guys wanna take a look?
this is to replace the heating system at the public safety building.
Yes. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yep.
Yeah. The system has been failing. This is to replace it.
Given that this
I
is
mean,
almost a month old,
Yeah.
I think
I think
before we move on
we should get a
this, we
an
should get
updated
an updated
estimate for the
quote.
next meeting.
Yeah.
For our next meeting, then we can put it on the agenda. So this item will need to be put on the agenda for the next meeting.
did we wanna get a quote from anyone else? Does it matter?
I mean, John has been doing our work, and
Yeah,
Would you
Really, really.
email him to get
I can talk to
a
him.
quote and maybe let
Yes.
him know that what the date of the next meeting is, so that it's like
Yeah.
within that?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Within
gonna
that
put this
timeframe.
as an action item then for
yeah, so
you
that
under number 8.
then it reminds us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wrote that on here that it needs to be updated. If he's only gonna give us 2 days,
John Mercy. Yeah,
John
he-
Mercy,
Yeah, heating,
yeah,
yeah,
here's his.
Mercy's heating
Do you wanna
and
hang on
services
to that?
incorporated. Yeah. Yeah, then we can have a new quote for our next meeting. I mean, I believe the money's available in the reserve fund. But I'd like to talk to Liz, and, I mean, I don't know what the time frame is for the remodeling either, so.
Mhm.
I believe this furnace would fit into what we're doing for the remodeling. Yeah.
Okay.
So Paige, you guys gonna convert it to propane, I think.
So Mark, in here I have that you're gonna contact John Mercy to get an updated quote to review at the next meeting.
Yeah,
And that you will discuss plans with Liz for the renovation to make sure that
this quote. yeah,
that
this-
quote or the system that he's offering is going to meet the
I believe it is,
renovation
but I'll
needs.
double
Okay,
check.
great.
So then we'll have a new quote for the next meeting.
So there's also a check in here from the Vermont Community Foundation, where, I guess this is a note from Erin, they use the town tax ID again, they aren't a town entity, it needs to be returned.
So what is it?
It's some sort of grant money they're giving to us.
I think that this.
Montgomery Cares for Our
Yeah,
Seniors.
so Montgomery Cares for Our Seniors
Is that the meals program?
is the meals program.
Okay,
It's not a municipal
Entity?
entity?
No, they set it up as a nonprofit was my understanding, because they asked for they asked for us to write a letter of support as the town
Yeah.
for them to get a grant, but not as the town. So
right,
if they're a separate organization, they can't use the town tax ID number to get a grant.
Right.
Because we have no way to like deposit that money. Like if we were
No.
audited, that would be.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Right, so,
okay.
Well, what's the action item on this for us then?
So
What is this? Yeah.
it says that we have to return the check. They wrote the check back on May 17th.
Hmm.
So who returns it? Erin? Liz?
So we just make a motion to return the check? Or this is not a Vermont Community Fund Foundation?
I guess.
Can I see it?
it sounds like that probably needs to be a conversation with Sue and
Yeah, permanent.
Parma.
Oh, Linda, no.
So this,
I don't know. It's been sitting around for a couple of
Yeah, I don't think we
months.
need a motion particularly to do that. It hasn't been
they need to,
deposited.
they just need to, we need to return the fund and then explain to them that they'll have to
That they were
write the
giv-
check, they'll have to write the check out to their organization, to the, whatever, permanent.
With
So I guess we'll try,
reference to their tax ID
reference to
number.
their tax ID number that they have.
Yeah. I'll email Charlie and ask him to follow up on that with
Yeah, I
Sue
agree.
and Parma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I don't think there's anything, yeah, I think that's something that they'll have to do.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what the reason is she can't deposit it in our account because
It's a separate
it's a separate
organization. It's not-
organization.
Yeah.
Okay. And this third thing in here is from Vermont Elevator Inspection Services.
Okay,
An agreement for our inspection services. They want us to choose a period of 2 to 3 years. Is that for the
That's-
elevator that's in the town hall?
yeah, they just came and inspected the other day, it was working fine.
Okay,
But I think this is,
but we have to pick?
yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess it's something I'll have to ask Aaron about and look back and see what we've chosen before on a bill. Have her look back on this and find the bill from before and see which one we've chosen. Because it says for platform list, for limited use, limited application elevators, so for hydraulic elevators, I'm not sure which one we had, so Barry can look it up.
Right.
So I guess it's something we'll talk to Aaron about. So I don't want to pick, and then I don't know if
Right.
we've done it 2 years before or 3 years.
What's it
So
called
it's,
for that elevator?
It's called Vermont Elevator Inspection
Inspection.
Services Incorporated out of Northfield. Yeah, because if you don't keep this up, then
So you'll follow up with Aaron on that?
I can, yeah,
Okay, so I
Yeah.
have that as another action item here.
okay. Yeah, she'll just have to look back and when we did it before, and then find out what we did. And then we can have it on the next agenda, yeah, to pay. Oh, this is for the
Good.
town hall, yeah. Okay,
Okay, so you wanna keep that?
yeah, I'll keep this.
Okay, so this, should I write a note on here? that we should send this back or what? Or,
We can leave it with Charlie's flag code stuff here, and
Let's take
I
a-
will email him and let
okay.
him know.
Why don't we leave that in the envelope too, and then my comment?
Okay.
I know it's there.
Okay. There's all that.
Okay, so that's.
Okay. Okay. Are we good? All right, so, I guess we've come to the end of our meeting at 7:33. If someone would like to make a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Everybody in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.